Welcome to EP Daily. Today on the show, we take a look at the new James Bond film, Spectre.
Plus, Jose gives us a piece of his mind with his look at One Piece Pirate Warriors 3. Arrgh.
And then we've got some fantasy RPG action with Pillars of Eternity. Also coming up, we take a look back at the very first Ratchet & Clank game, bring you a very handsome review of Borderlands: The Handsome Collection, and much more today on EP Daily. Brought to you by EB Games. I'm your host, Marissa Roberto, bringing you the latest and everything cool every single day. I don't have a license to kill, but I do have a license to bring you the rundown. Here it is. James Bond is getting shaken and stirred up in his latest movie. The first trailer for the new 007 film, Spectre, has arrived. This time around, audiences will get to see the new Bond unravel the sinister organization, Spectre, which is a group of global criminals that was last seen in the classic Bond films. Daniel Craig is back in the lead role, and the film is directed by Sam Mendes, who helmed the last film, Skyfall. Spectre will bring the action to theaters across the globe on November 6th.
Welcome, James. It's been a long time.
The multiplayer game Evolve is getting a lot more monstrous. Loads of new downloadable content hits the game today, including an all-new monster known as the Behemoth. He's the biggest monster in the game by far and has new powers like the ability to summon massive walls of rock to block off hunters. Because he's so big, he's slower and can't run or jump, but he does have the ability to roll around Metroid style. Developer Turtle Rock Studios says players will need to come up with new strategies while playing with the Behemoth, and to even things out, 4 new hunters have also been released, each with unique abilities. Players who don't want to buy the new monster or hunters will still be able to play against or alongside them if they're matched up with players who do own them. Best of all, 2 new maps have also been released for Evolve, and they're free for everyone. That's it for the rundown. Now here to join me, it's Scott C. Jones trying to pull off his best James Bond, I'm assuming.
Yeah, James Bond. Are we talking about James Bond?
Well, we will talk about James Bond, but first let's talk about Evolve, because it's a new monster, there are 4 new hunters, there are 2 new maps. Well, the maps are free, but the hunters and the monster are not. So you are not happy with this, obviously. I already know. Well,
one of the new monsters I thought was going to be my first ex-wife, who really was literally a monster.
What's her nickname, Behemoth too?
That's what I called her near the end when we were negotiating with the lawyers. No, listen, you know, I've admired Evolve, and I admired this game, but you know, I feel like this game hasn't quite lifted off the way that everyone kind of hoped it would. I don't know why people aren't connecting more, or maybe why I'm not connecting more with Evolve. I think I'm still feel a little resentful towards Evolve because it didn't have a dedicated, legit, big, robust single-player experience. And so all you can do is get online and shoot each other and gather together, and I don't know, it just hasn't kind of done anything for me, so.
Let's move on to James Bond now. Okay, lovely. I'm not too excited about Sam Mendes directing this one, though.
I'm not that excited about any James Bond movie for a very long time. I love Casino Royale, but I've hated all the, you know, Quantum of Solace, all the stuff that's happened since then, Skyfall.
I didn't mind that one.
I mean, they just feel so, they're not special moments. There was something about Casino Royale that felt like a real moment. You were seeing a new James Bond, and we were going someplace we hadn't been before. It was so sexy. I love that film. All the other ones I just feel like are white noise. And this feels like more white noise. Well, I hope it's good for Vic's sake. Yeah,
Skyfall in general was white noise for me, and that's why I'm concerned about Spectre, because it's the same director. But Skyfall was the biggest grossing James Bond film of all time, so people like it.
People do like it. Hopefully also, they should consider me for the next one. Look at that, a sense of menace.
I'm sorry to say this, but I think you might be too old to play James Bond.
All right, I'm okay.
Oh, okay.
Timothy Dalton.
Let's move on now. We've got a story about One Piece. Oh my goodness, you're so excited about this. I know. Warriors 3, Jose's got it.
I can feel my virginity growing back.
All right.
海賊王。俺は大剣豪に。私は世界地図を書くため。俺は勇敢なる海の戦士になるためだ。行くぞ、グランドライン。
All you One Piece fans, get ready for One Piece Pirate Warriors 3. What are you guys bringing that's new that we haven't seen in previous Pirate Warriors games?
There are two big differences from Pirate Warriors 2. One is that players will be able to experience the original story of One Piece from the departure from Fuchsia Village where everything started all the way to the kingdom of Dressrosa. The second big difference is the new feature called Kizuna Rush. Players will be able to play as several characters in one battlefield.
And I know PlayStation 4 fans are excited because this game is going to be on the PS4. What are we going to be able to do with this game now on the PlayStation 4 that we weren't able to do with the PlayStation 3 version?
There are two big differences between the PS3 version and the PS4 versions of the game. The first one is the graphics enhancement. There's been a drastic change. It's been completely renewed for the PS4. The second point is that there will be tons of enemy characters in one stage. So in the last game, Pirate Warriors 2, maybe we only had 100 characters, but in Pirate Warriors 3, we'll have more than 200.
Well, now that we have all of these extra characters on screen, is that going to make the game more difficult, or is it just going to be a hell of a lot more fun to destroy all these bad guys?
It's not really about making the game more difficult. It's more about letting fans play the characters they like, so it's more about giving the fans more fun and more of an exhilarated feeling of playing different characters.
What is it about the Warriors style of gameplay that was such a perfect fit for a franchise like One Piece?
In the original manga, you can see Luffy fighting through the battlefield, not killing, but defeating a lot of enemies, so that perfectly fits with the Dynasty Warriors series. The gameplay also perfectly fits with Luffy because he acts faster than he thinks, and that also matches this game system.
Is this your definitive One Piece game? Are you officially the King of Pirates? Are you ready to hand off your hat?
We're intending to make this game a compilation of the series, and we're hoping that this game will become the King of Pirates in the game industry.
I'm just ready to be the Prince of Pirates. Not quite a king yet.
One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 is out now, and be careful because it might make your virginity grow back too.
Up next, Pillars of Eternity.
Why do you be so dramatic?
You'll see when we come back.
Welcome back to EP Daily. Pillars of Eternity is the most epic video game title ever, right? So naturally, we sent our most epic host ever at EP Daily, Jose Sanchez, to check out Pillars of Eternity.
It is time to do some research and find out exactly what the Pillars of Eternity are. Tell me a little bit about this game and what these Pillars of Eternity actually are.
This game is a Kickstarter-backed game in the style of the old Infinity Engine games, which are Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, and Planescape Torment. And they were classic isometric 2D-based games, and we had 77,000 people back the game. For the past 2.5 years, we've been making a game that really emphasizes exploration of beautiful 2D environments, real-time with pause combat, with full party, 6-character party control, and a really rich and deep and engrossing story that you go through that reacts to the choices that you make and companions that can go through it with you. And we're making it for PC, Mac, and Linux. We've been working on it for over 2 years, and that's in it in a nutshell.
Take us into the story a little bit and tell us exactly what's happening. And
this world is something that we've made. It's the world of Eora, and it's a fantasy setting that we developed at Obsidian. Your character is an outsider who's coming into this colonial area called the Eastern Reach. You're traveling in there for reasons that you can define in the course of the game, but you wind up in the wrong place at the wrong time, and you are a witness and sort of unwilling participant in this weird supernatural event that changes you. And that change puts you in a great deal of danger. That sets you on a course to correct that, and by following that, you become entwined in larger events in the world over the course of the game. In terms of the themes of the world and sort of the larger issues of the story, in this setting, souls are a really big, important thing. Everyone knows that they have a soul, they know that trees have souls, they know that animals have souls, and they know that when they die, their soul is going to pass into the afterlife, and they believe it's going to be judged by the gods for how it will be reincarnated. But people don't actually know a lot about how souls work. So there's lots of things and maladies and things that happen to people that they don't really understand. In this time, in this part of the world, there's a new field of research called animancy, and animancy is the study of souls and the manipulation of souls. These aren't really wizards, they're more like scientists who are using machines and their research to study Like, what makes a person go crazy? What makes a person depressed? What makes a person reincarnate well or badly or whatever? And then they use that knowledge to try to manipulate how souls work. And a lot of people view this as a very good thing because they're like, wow, you know, we can fix all these problems, people's mental illness and these struggles and having the wrong soul in this body that shouldn't really have reincarnated this way. And a lot of people view it as very dangerous because it's experimental. All the times things go wrong and bad things happen. A lot of people think it is blasphemous. They think the gods are going to punish people for experimenting with this stuff. So that's a big source of conflict in the world that you kind of come into.
So when you have 77,000 people that you need to impress, and probably way more after the fact, how do you guys go about creating something that you know will please these people that have obviously poured their money into this game?
Well, a lot of us worked on the original games, the Infinity Engine games, so we go back to what we worked on back then, what we know worked back then, and what we also kind of suspect doesn't work, didn't work then, or doesn't work anymore. We have a very active forum community, and we look at it a lot for feedback. We also had an internal backer beta, so a lot of our backers have been playing a limited amount of content in the game for several months, and they've been giving a ton of feedback that's been very helpful for us. Ways that they think we can improve the classes, the interface, the way the game runs, how the AI works, all that sort of stuff. So getting their feedback is very important. Obviously, we can't make everyone happy, but by looking at the different opinions, we can usually synthesize a way forward that we think will make a lot of people really enjoy the game.
How big is it going to be outside of that main stretch that you're going to be taking?
So we estimate that the critical path makes up about 1/3 to 1/4 of the overall content. So if you really want to do a completionist run, it is a huge amount of time. There are about 150 maps in the game, so it's a lot of stuff to explore.
So get your Google Maps ready. You're going to be doing a lot of traveling.
You were correct, Jose Sanchez, the right man for the job. Marissa Roberto, well played.
Insomniac Games has just released DLC for their latest title, Sunset Overdrive, so let's celebrate by rolling out our own live-action EP version of Ratchet & Clank.
Oh man, that could mean only one thing.
What?
Vic and Tommy, together again.
We're going to talk about Ratchet & Clank from Sony for the PlayStation 2. What'd you think of this one?
Well, you know, the thing is, this is a really good 3D platform game.
That's
but,
right.
You know, it doesn't really have anything like that blows me away. Now you have a lot of different weapons. You have over 36 different weapons, like flamethrowers and different things like that. But, you know, at the end of the day, it doesn't have anything that special.
Well, I would tend to agree with you. I find that there is something missing. You know, technically, the graphics are incredible, 60 frames per second, huge worlds that are populated and filled with all kinds of interesting objects in the background. The characters move fluidly. There's lots of really interesting boss battles. The weapons are incredible.
I think the controls could have been a lot tighter,
The controls could have been a little bit tighter.
like Mario.
Yeah, or even Sly Cooper had a little bit more precision, I think, in the maneuverability. This game, it seems to have almost all the right pieces, but the thing that it's missing, it doesn't have that intangible connection. You don't feel like it's got the same heart as Mario or as Sly Cooper.
Star Fox Adventure.
Or Star Fox Adventures. I mean, it looks to me like there was a checklist made from the designers, and they went over all the things that should be in the game, and they hit their marks.
Right.
And they delivered a technically proficient game, but it's missing a little soul or substance.
Yeah, because really, at the end of the day, all you're really doing is smashing boxes and collecting things.
Right.
Which, again, you know, yay.
But I had a lot of fun playing the game. And
But it is a well put together game, don't get me wrong.
And it is addictive finding all the pieces of the puzzle as you go through.
If I had a choice between this or Sly Cooper, I'd take Sly Cooper in a second.
I tend to agree with you. I like Sly Cooper a little bit more, but I did enjoy Ratchet & Clank. I think my favorite part of the game is actually Clank. I wish they had just called this game Clank and just let Clank run around, because he is really cool. It reminds me of Teddy from AI, that little cute teddy bear character. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10.
I'm giving it a 7.5.
Oh, he was so cute. You know, he had a little room right here in the studio that we lined with organic hay, and we bring him the kibble that he loved. Oh, I loved him.
Wait, no, that's not true.
He's just
With
tall.
Tommy, I know he used to power nap in his Maserati, and then between shoots, he would shotgun like 6 Red Bull. He was a very powerful man.
No, he told a lot of lies. He'd go around telling everyone Steven Tyler is his cousin.
That's true, though.
Yeah.
Okay, after this, we've got Borderlands.
Welcome back to EP Daily. Let's be honest, the Handsome Collection is one oddball title. It's one disc that is jam-packed with 2 awesome Borderlands games. So, is it on mine and Vic's must-buy list? Here's the answer. Vic and I just played the Handsome Collection, which is what Gearbox...
named after us.
It was named. That's what I thought when they first announced it. Instead, this is a collection for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. It is Borderlands 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel. Now, I didn't play Borderlands the pre-sequel, so I was excited to see that. We've both been big fans of Borderlands right from the beginning. Gearbox has done a great job on this series. This is a high-definition do-over of all these games. Vic, what do you think of this?
Well, what's interesting is I played both of these games on the PC, and so they felt...
Oh, Mr. Sophisticate.
But they felt very similar to my PC experience, because I was able to dial up all the visual settings and everything, and it just felt very analogous to the way that I experienced each one of these titles.
And you're also not on a huge screen on the PC.
No, I played it on my TV.
Oh, well, Mr. Sophisticate again.
This is awesome! With a controller, so it was very console-like off of the PC. It's a great deal, I think, for PlayStation 4 enthusiasts who may have missed one of these titles, want to revisit these games again, because it's a pretty good deal in terms of what you get for the $1.
Lots of content packed onto this disc.
All the extra DLC and lots of different characters that you can play as and everything. I'm really amazed at the quality of these games, but I think what happened with Borderlands is that they came out in such quick succession that we didn't really get a chance to breathe and appreciate the efforts that went into telling these stories and crafting these characters and the genuine comedy bits that are a part of these experiences.
That's something that Gearbox has always been very good at, and they've delivered consistently when it comes to the Borderlands series, especially Borderlands 2, which I spent a lot of time playing. And, you know, I like the pre-sequel. I like the concept behind the pre-sequel. And it's certainly great to see these games in HD, Super HD here on the PS4 and the Xbox One. I mean, I think you'd be really hard-pressed at this point in the life cycle of both machines to find games that look better than this.
I think it was a bit of a surprise, that first Borderlands game. I don't think that we expected to enjoy it quite as much as we have. And then Borderlands 2 felt like, and maybe that was part of the decision for not including Borderlands on this disc, which is noticeably absent, but I feel like that would be almost too much Borderlands buffet, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, the other thing is we are still in that phase in new console life cycles where we're doing all of our look backs. Here's the HD version of games that were great previously. Another one was just announced today. There's more that are coming for sure. And I think if you missed the boat the first time around on Borderlands, you absolutely, this is your chance to get on board. You can save a lot of money. You can have a lot of great good times just crammed into this disc.
But I actually really love the pre-sequel. I think that it's a fantastic game.
I love seeing the origin story of Handsome Jack before he became Handsome Jack.
Yeah, all of that's cool, and you can play as a body double of Handsome Jack in the pre-sequel. And I
can't help but not feel the gravity of these games, even though I've played them before.
Or the lack of. When you're bouncing around on the moon.
Well, on the moon is tough, but in Borderlands 2, I loaded that up, and I still couldn't believe that even after going through that game, I still felt it. I felt the pull again, and I started playing it again.
So
and I fell in love with Claptrap all over again.
I am in this location!
And you're right. I don't think we appreciated these games maybe enough the first time around.
It's what happens when you cram release after release. You just got to give a little bit of space to each one of these titles so you can celebrate them a little bit more, because you're going to be addicted to collecting every damn thing in this game. This is a game where the gun options are limitless, the characters that you meet are infinitely enjoyable, and there's all kinds of great boss fights that you get. What surprised me through this go-round, and I feel like I've been playing Borderlands for a big chunk of my life now,
well, you have,
but what surprised me this time is just how tight the mechanics feel, how great the shooting actually feels. And I don't know if that's just a tuning thing that you can do on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One with a little more hardware power, but it felt like a great experience. Love both of these games.
So I walk away from these things, and I wish I felt more attached to some of the characters. I wish I felt more attached to some of the worlds. The only two people I walk away with memories of are Claptrap and Handsome Jack, and the rest of them are all just white noise. But still,
I disagree. I don't remember every single character, but I like the fiction. I like the setup. I like.
Who
the
are the
story.
other characters?
I can't. And
that's what I thought. That's right. The Handsome Collection.
9.5.
9 for me. Without a doubt, the Handsome Collection is one of the best bargains in gaming right now, but to be honest, it eats up your hard drive the way that bullymongers eat claptraps. Twitter question of the day is next. We'll be back after this.
If you want more EP, go to our website, epn.tv, for bonus content and full episodes. We're also on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to EP Daily. It is time now for the best part of every show. It's the Twitter question of the day. And today's question comes from Reese Conway.
Oh.
He is at Zeta Siren. This is a very simple one, and I don't want you to think about it. Just answer Dark Souls or Demon Souls. Go ahead.
Neither.
Okay, you got in there just under the wire. Me, I would say Dark Souls for sure. Of the two games, I mean, these are very challenging games. Everyone's talking about these games right now because of Bloodborne, which is destroying me and Victor Lucas. Yes, yesterday I spent about 4 hours, and I'm gonna go home and put on a pot of coffee and spend another 4 hours.
Yeah.
Basically just getting killed by the same monster, because that's what you do in these games.
But that's the thing, that's not my style of game at all. It's just punishing. It's constant punishment over and over again. And I don't like being punished when I play video games.
I kind of like it though, because I feel like we went through a period where we had games like Jetpack Joyride, which you'd get 1,000,000 points, which would basically play itself.
I like that.
And you're a winner. Every step of the way. Everyone's a winner. Everyone's a winner.
Okay, EP Daily is done for another day where you can check out full episodes, extended interviews, previews, reviews, and everything else we do all at EPN.tv.
And we've got more EP Daily cooking for you, including a story on Ollie Ollie 2. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.
EP would like to thank its sponsors, Nintendo, Xbox. EP's mobile coverage is brought to you by Gameloft, makers of Dragon Mania Legends, which you can play for free right now.
I like it a lot, but I do feel like I've been here before.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the 2D sort of qualities of these things.
Yeah.
They feel like small bump ups, you know?
Well, let's get into the gameplay a little bit here. If you're not familiar with Ollie Ollie, you are grinding, you're pulling off tricks, and you're doing that with your left stick. So you need to pull them off precisely, and you want to pull them off with great timing as well, because you do get great boosts. And you get boosts and you get combos, and the more you get those combos, the faster you go.